Hey, everybody. My name is Meg Johnson, and welcome to our client community call. Today is Tuesday, December the 6th, and tonight we are going to be talking about how to thrive in this holiday season with the candy canes and the treats and all the things everywhere. And we're also going to give you some strategies for how to deal with addictive foods. But before we do that, I just want to make sure that you know that you belong here. And we want to ask for your help. We would love to help move the culture of these calls to be more interactive, but we need your help with that. So there's going to be lots of time tonight for you to chime in with questions, ideas, challenges, problems. And so would love, love, love to hear from you. And I know it can be a little unnerving to speak on Zoom, but we just want you to know we're your community. And we are so glad that you are here and would love to hear from you. Also want to say there can be so much shame when it comes to talking about sugar and addictive foods and all of that. So we just want you to know, and I know you know this from your coach, but from all of us, there is no shame needed here. We want to partner with you to help you achieve your health goals. And we know everybody does that a little bit differently. So we just want you to know there is no shame. We're just glad that you're here. All right. So we created a little PowerPoint for you tonight. We decided to get a little fancy. So I'm going to share that. And let's see. Trying to get all my screens moving. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about thriving in candy cane season. And I tried to find a candy cane PowerPoint, and this is all I got. But as we start, I just wanted to introduce myself. I might look healthy right now, but I assure you, I did not start off that way. And also my health, what I've learned. So I made the decision to get healthy 5 years ago after struggling with my weight since the 3rd grade. And I've got to tell you, it is a journey. So when we say it's a journey, unfortunately it is. And sometimes that journey is wonderful. And sometimes that journey, you get into moments where you have to make that hard decision. So we just want you to know, I just want you to know you're not alone. If you ever feel like, I just want to eat all the sugar, right? And so one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is the power of those addictive foods and the power of sugar. And I'll just tell you, I am highly susceptible to sugar. So what that means is, whenever I eat sugar, I start to crave it and want it more and more and more. And tonight is my brother's birthday, and we were just having his birthday dinner. And y'all, you saved me because I had to leave when all the desserts came out. So the fried ice cream, the churros, man, they had regular ice cream, all the things. Does anybody else have a family that has some unhealthy habits going on and they order all the things? I don't know if I'm alone in that, but you saved me because I was able to jump up out of there. But that is an environment that I know I'm going to be in a lot. So we want to talk about that tonight because I'm thinking if it's happening to me, it's likely going to happen to you. So I made the decision to get healthy 5 years ago. I've lost 44 pounds, and this program and the Habits of Health have made a massive difference in my health and in my life. You can see this is a little picture of my little boy Shep, and this is us now. But I will tell you, I show up as a mom in ways I couldn't even fathom. I didn't even know what my kids were missing. And so if you maybe have your kids on your why list, or maybe it's your grandkids, or maybe it's the thought of grandkids one day, I just want to remind you, it is so worth it. It is so fun to chase your kids on the playground and have them chase you. It is worth the journey. All right. So when are you more likely to crave sugar? So there's 3 main situations that are talked about in your Habits of Health book. When you're under stress, when you're bored, when you're having an emotional crisis, and also I just add when you're in the habit of eating sugar, right? So I want to know, put in the chat, when do you typically crave sugar? And let's talk about it. What you might not know is in your life book, there's actually a test you can take. It's on page 322, and it tells you how susceptible you are to addictive foods. It's a very powerful tool. And so I thought we'd take a couple of minutes and take this test together. So I want you to grab a piece of paper, a pen, or a pencil, make 3 categories on your piece of paper. So make a category for rarely, a category for occasionally, and a category for daily. And as I read out a situation, I want you to put a tally for if it's in the rarely common column, a tally for occasionally, and a tally for daily. Does that make sense? Everybody on the same page? Pop in the chat. If not, and it also, if you don't have a pen and paper, just keep track of how many dailies and occasionallys you have. Maybe you can use your hands. Okay, so question number 1, I find it difficult to control how much I eat. Is that rarely, occasionally, or daily? I find it difficult to control how much I eat. Question 2, I crash in the afternoon and have trouble waking in the morning. Question 3, I have cravings for specific foods. Is that rarely, occasionally, or daily? I suffer from moodiness, headaches, and fogginess. Rarely, occasionally, or daily? We're halfway done. When I only eat a moderate amount of food, I am not satisfied. Is that rarely, occasionally, or daily? How about this? I feel guilty after eating. How would you rate that? Question 7, I spend a considerable amount of time thinking about food. Rarely, occasionally, or daily? Number 8, I eat even if I'm not hungry because I crave a specific food. How would you rate that? Okay, the last 2 questions. Number 9, I eat large amounts of food and I feel powerless to stop. Rarely, occasionally, daily. And the last question, I crave carbs like pasta, bread, white rice, and desserts. Is that rarely, occasionally, or daily? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to count and mark up your tallies. How many rarelys do you have? How many occasionallys do you have? And how many dailies do you have? And you can put it in the chat if you want. I'm trying to see how I can see our chat while I'm screen sharing. Let's see if I can. I'm going to stop the share so I can see the chat. Oh, I love y'all are putting your scores in there. So I'll tell you my score. I was surprised, sort of, but I had 6 highly susceptible scores. So I had 6 answers that I could say daily to, which means I am highly susceptible to addictive foods. So if you scored a 6 or higher, it means you have a high susceptibility. If you had less than 6 occasional, you are moderate susceptibility. And if you had less than 6 rarely, you have a low susceptibility. So that's how that works. And the cool thing for many of us is how we answer this in these questions at the beginning is so different than how we're going to answer it at the end of our journeys and after we do the work up here. So I just think that's fascinating to know, okay, how susceptible am I to these addictive foods that we're talking about? Okay, so other things to know, if you're highly susceptible to addictive foods, and this comes straight out of the Life book, your best advice is to just avoid those foods that are high in sugar, that are gonna be triggers for you. Your best advice is to avoid them. And I'll just tell you, me personally, I wish I was the kind of person that was built like maybe some of you guys, that you can have a little bit and be done, just have a taste or follow the 3-bite rule with some delicious desserts. And that's just not how I am. I know about the 3-bite rule. And when I have 3 bites, I'm going to have 3 more and 3 more. So because I'm highly susceptible, the 3-bite rule does not work for me in that instance. So the best advice, Dr. A tells me, is to just avoid it. And it also helps you because we get to avoid the need for our willpower, right? When I was sitting there at the table when the fried ice cream, and let me just say, I don't even know how they fry ice cream, but when it got brought to the table, man, I had to have some willpower because it looked good. So let's talk about how you can avoid the need for willpower. You can throw away tempting food. And there was a time that I thought, oh, I don't want to throw away food. I don't want to put anything in the garbage. But I really had to think, okay, I'm either going to throw it in the garbage or I'm going to put it in my body and treat my body like a garbage can because I don't need it. My kids don't need it. So I've gotten to where I donate it to the fire station or the school, or I just throw it away. The other thing you can do is to ask for what you need. So I have a friend, her name is Crystal, and Crystal was telling me the story the other day that I was so impressed by, with how she asked her husband for what she needs. So Crystal, will you come off mute and share with us a little bit about your story and about the red tamales? And you're still muted.
Okay, here I am. Yes, I got it this time. So I was telling Meg during a call that we were traveling, and we travel a lot in the vehicle. And I am in love with hot tamales. And my husband also likes all things sweet. And so we were driving, and I drank my water, and I'm like, okay, I don't need any. And the hot tamales were sitting in the console in between us. And I finally looked at him. I'm like, honey, do you think you could take that bag of hot tamales? Because, it's not a small bag. It wasn't a box. It wasn't just like a single serving. It was like, a 2-pound bag. It was ginormous. Like, do you think you take that bag and put it on your side of the vehicle so I can't reach it? And he looked at me. He's like, really? And I said, yes, really, or else I'm just going to eat it all. And he's like, well, sure, I can. So he took it and he set it over on his side, and it just made my decision easier because it took my decision away from me. If I can't reach it, I can't eat it. So, but
Crystal, that is perfect. I love how you just asked for what you needed. And I love that your husband was like, really, this is going to help you? Like, okay, like it's easy, but he's someone that's not highly susceptible to addictive foods. So for him, no big deal. So would you share with us too, just because I love your story, would you share with us a little bit about the benefits you have experienced since you started program?
Yeah. So I told Corey yesterday when I had my call, my coach, I've lost 12 pounds, and I'm sleeping better. I no longer have to take my antacid medicine before I go to bed. I have a lot more energy, and I'm not starving. And I have, like, it's a, obviously we're all learning how to eat right. And it's a lot of, I have just been, whenever I think about it, something that I want, and then I have to think about, well, does that mean I'm not going to meet a goal? Do I need it bad? Do I want it that bad? And, the 3 bites, I'm with you. I can't really just do 3 bites. So I think long and hard about it. And I usually shouldn't say usually, for the most part, I have decided, no, it's not something I want, but I also enlisted like my own group of helpers, because my family that's close to me are the ones who know that I'm on this journey. And real quick, I'll tell the story of my sister. We went to the bar. They all went to the bar. I'm like, really, we're going to the bar? I can't. And so I had some, dry wings, and my nephew had ordered a pretzel with some nacho cheese, and we're visiting at the bar, and I'm being really good. And I subconsciously, not even aware, reached over and picked it up and went to take a bite. And my sister looked at me and she's like, you should put that down. I was like, oh crap, yes, I should. So, but no, you've got to have people on your side, besides your coach. Like, I believe your coach is wonderful, but for me, I needed more than just my coach. I needed my people in my circle.
Yes. Oh, Crystal, I love your story, and I love your family and how they come alongside and support you. Thank you for being brave and sharing with us tonight. And there's this phrase, and I know we aren't doing a diet with this is a healthy lifestyle, but there's this phrase, don't diet in the dark. And it's so powerful, I think, because, Crystal's spot on. We need people because for a lot of us, for me, these habits were so ingrained for decades that it really was a subconscious, like, lick of the peanut butter spoon as I'm making another peanut butter sandwich for my kiddos, right? So those bites, licks, and tastes. And if you have people in your corner who can remind you of what you really want, it makes a huge difference. So thank you, Crystal. That was really helpful. All right. So going back to talking about how we can avoid the need for willpower. So you can throw away tempting food. You can ask the people in your world for what you need. Like, Crystal did with her husband and moving the candy to the other side of the car. Maybe it's like, hey, I have a client whose husband was asking her to pick up McDonald's for him. And she had to say like, no, I can't have that in my car. And maybe it's your husband or your wife or your kids or something. They bring something to the house that makes it hard for you. Ask for what you need. This is only a season. So ask for what you need to be successful. Obviously, accountability makes a big difference, whether that's with people in your world, especially with your coach. So, if you're going to a party this holiday season, you can text a coach and say like, hey, I'm going to a cookie exchange. Here's my game plan, and get that accountability from your coach. And then lastly, you can avoid the need for willpower in all three of these ways. But what I really love to do, because, we love candy and sugar and desserts and all that because it's a dopamine high, right? So we can find dopamine in other ways. So we can find it when we go pet an animal, right? Whether that's a cat or a dog or a bearded lizard like some of us have. We can find dopamine with a weighted blanket or a hug from somebody who loves us, from exercise. If you want to change your mood, putting on a song and dancing for 60 to 90 seconds can really change your mood. So dancing, exercise, moving your body, taking a bath. And I always recommend come up with a menu of different things you can do to feed that dopamine, because that need for dopamine is real. That's the addiction part. Like your body is saying, I need this. And so for you to find some way to create that pleasure, that satisfaction in a way that doesn't involve sugar is really important. Okay, so this was shocking. I did a little research for you tonight because I know there's lots of sugary things out there. So a sugar cookie, just so you know, has 16 grams of carbs in it. This might surprise you, but a banana has 27 grams of carbs and 14 grams of sugar. So it's about the equivalent of a chocolate chip cookie, which when I found that, I was shocked. But it has to do with how much sugar is in a banana, right? It's shocking. A grande skinny peppermint mocha, 23 grams of carbs and 13 grams of sugar. The Reese's peanut butter trees that I'm hearing all my friends that love peanut butter talking about, 19 grams of carbs in those bad boys. And it's hard to have just one, right? The peppermint JoJo's, which you get at Trader Joe's that are all the rage, 20 grams of carbs. Oh, little candy cane, just a candy cane, 12 grams of carbs. And remember, when you are on one of our fat burning plans, a condiment, we get 3 of those a day. Those are 3 carbs. So we really have a little window of excess carbs. So having something like a banana or a candy cane or whatever, it can kick you out of your fat burn, which of course we don't want to do that, because that's when we have more energy, no cravings, and we're burning fat, right? So we want to stay there. The other thing to know about sugar, it creates that instant pleasure, but it ultimately results in significant consequences to your health. That's straight out of the Life book. The average American consumes 150 pounds of refined sugar and flour products every year. I was shocked by that. Dr. A said, sugar and refined flour act like kryptonite, and they cause insatiable hunger and cravings that lead us to a loss of control. And one of the things that I find just interesting is eating too much sugar has been proven to reduce your brain cells and reduce the actual size of your brain, which blows my mind. And not just that, but when we eat too much sugar, it can create a state of lifeless. We can feel lifeless. We can feel down, even depressed, and have a lack of energy between the sugar high, right? Also, because your body is so stinking smart, it's going to get used to having that high quantity of sugar. So it's going to adjust the amount of dopamine it gives you for your tolerance, meaning like you're going to have to eat more of the sugar, the refined sugar and the flour, in order to get the same pleasure the more you eat it, right? Because your body's smart. You build up a tolerance over time. So that is just shocking, I think. But what I would love to know from you guys, and I know certainly we have some great fuelings that are great with sugar, like the brownie I love. I came home and had that after our dinner fiasco, our dessert fiasco that we just had. But what fuelings do you go to? Or maybe it's a fueling hack. I know some people turn the brownie into a Reese's peanut butter cup, but does anybody have any fuelings that they turn into anything that they could share with everybody?
Meg, I do a mint peppermint mocha, and actually I'm having one right now, and it's just a tablespoon of the zero sugar peppermint mocha creamer, and then the hot chocolate fueling and decaf coffee. And it's like my favorite thing at night, just with the frother. It's, having a healthy peppermint mocha, and it's, let's see, 130 calories, but 14 grams of protein. So much healthier than a Starbucks peppermint mocha.
Right. And where do you get your peppermint mocha from?
The creamer.
Yeah.
So the creamer is Coffee Mate Zero Sugar Peppermint Mocha Creamer.
Okay. Yum. Have to try that. Anybody have anything else that they want to share?
I do.
Great.
I'm very plain and simple. I don't do fancy stuff. That's one of the things I love about this program is it's very uncomplicated. So the peanut butter chocolate chip bar, to me, that's a Reese's, peanut butter cup. I mean, it's just the same thing to me. So, every time I have that, I think that I'm having my brain thinks I'm having that. So that just suffices.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly. That is a great one. And Debbie says she does a peanut butter shake into a sweet peanut butter in a small custard cup. So that's a great idea. I love how creative everybody is. Anybody else?
Hi, this is Candy. I'm kind of simple too, kind of like you, Kelly, but I'm more of a cookie dough than a cookie eater. So I will typically eat my brownie, the Greek yogurt chips, as the brownie mix. I just add like the warm water so it kind of melts the chips. And oh my God, it's just easy. It's insane. It's not adding anything, but it's a different way to eat it that I really enjoy.
I'm with you, Candy. I love that brownie batter. I use cold water though for mine, but
I like the warm chips. They get kind of warm and a little melty, and it's like,
That's awesome. I love that. And here's a shout out for the hot chocolate. A lot of people haven't tried that. My husband lost 15 pounds and had 4 hot chocolates a day. He loves them. So if you haven't tried it, throw it in your next order. Maybe not have 4 a day, but whatever. All right. Somebody said they use the low-fat Cool Whip frozen with 1 tablespoon stirred into the chocolate pudding. That's great. Oh, Amy, you put the brownie in your coffee. Never thought of that. Brilliant. Sarah Bond, share with us.
So I do the brownie and a tablespoon of frozen Cool Whip, and it's like a brownie a la mode. So you use the brownie while it's hot, you put the cold tablespoon of, and it's 1 condiment of your frozen Cool Whip, and it's delicious.
Wow.
If you like ice cream, it's a good option.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Woo, I'm hungry. I think it's time for a fueling. Well, I don't know what y'all think. Some really great options. Debbie says she does the chocolate chip cookie and mixes it with water, and she doesn't microwave it. So she just does the cookie dough. All right, Michelle, how about you?
Well, this is really more for a summertime thing, but I take the pudding and I make popsicles out of them. And so for 1 fueling, I get 3 popsicles the way it works out in my mold. So I really feel like I'm being decadent when I do that in the summertime. Like I'm having 3. So it's a lot of fun.
I love that. That is awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And somebody commented that Lauren's got a cute puppy, so she's getting a dopamine high as she cuddles that puppy, which is spot on. It's the cutest puppy ever. She's going to show everybody. I heard a client, and you might even be on right now, I'm not even sure, but a client recently said, I love the community calls. They are awesome, but I wish somebody would share the actual hard things that are going on that we're dealing with. And that person's coach said, great. why don't you share it? So I love that. And so I would love to just open it up to maybe somebody who's never asked a question, maybe somebody who's never just got some extra coaching. Is there anybody out there that is struggling with sugar right now, or struggling with addictive foods, or anybody that's having a hard situation that you want some extra coaching or just some support on? We would love to hear from you.
I don't know how to do this.
I actually have one.
Great. Joy, it's all you.
So my question is, I don't really want to go into, I'm changing the way I'm eating, or I'm really focused. I don't really feel like I owe anybody an explanation. How do you reiterate no thank you?
That's a
To the point
great
of
one.
being accepted.
Is it somebody at a party, like a hostess, or is it somebody that's like a food pusher? What is the situation?
Well, this last time it was, she was very sweet, but she was handing out, the lady in my choir was handing out, she just brought in her leftover Halloween candy, trying to get rid of it. And 2 Whompers. First of all, it was Halloween candy that I did not need to be putting in my body.
Yeah.
But half of the stuff in the bag I'm allergic to anyway. So, and I'm tired of saying, oh, I'm allergic to peanuts, because then that's like, oh, I'm sorry, or oh, everybody get away from Joy. As long as I don't lick them, I'm fine, So I'd really rather just have it be a no thank you and leave it at that. And I'm trying to normalize just saying no thank you. And that's the end of my statement. So I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that kind of
Absolutely. Did somebody just came off mute? Did you want to answer that?
Is that, well, this is LaShawn. Hi.
Hi,
I'm Charlotte. I do not let people bother me, but because I know what I like and I know what I don't like. So your no has to be just no thank you and be done with it. But the struggle that I'm having is that I live with family, and so there's food all the time. It smells even when I go to bed. So I use a diffuser in my room so to mask, like essential oils, the smells in the house. And so that has helped me tremendously. But I do have a struggle with like spaghetti, which I ate some tonight and yesterday, but small portion. And because I was really hungry. And I am in a situation where I hope this helps others. Is that the holiday is upon us. So I am canceling. I am not participating in a lot of food parties. This is my health. I love I love this journey that I am on. And I've had to answer 2 of my sisters in a chat. And I said, great idea. I was very excited about, another plan to hang out with my sisters, but I knew it was going to involve eating food as well. So I got questioned. And so my response was, I'm always joyful, but I don't have to always participate.
That is so good, LaShawn. I love that.
I am feeling proud of myself because I have to think how not to also hurt others' feelings. Yeah. Right. But they know what I'm doing. Right. So I am in control of this, and plus I pray about it, so, but I'm in control of this and I mean business. Yeah. Like I said, I ate spaghetti and I told my coach, she doesn't know, but she probably knows tonight. But I told her about Thanksgiving, so these are the things that I do. Yeah. Because no is powerful. No means no. No means but no. That is so true. Have to learn how to say things that people that are sensitive so they don't hurt their feelings.
Yes. And that accountability and saying it out loud right now, LaShawn, and telling your coach is so helpful. I've got accountability as a coach, right? Because when all that dessert came out tonight, I was like, man, I can't eat that, so coaching is a great way to have that accountability. But yeah, check out palmiti noodles and spaghetti squash for your sugar or for your spaghetti.
Thank you. I have not made any meals for myself other than like my protein meats, and my salad or my green beans. But once I get to that point to where, to incorporate that, I love that. Thank you.
Good. Yes. Yes, LaShawn. Well, thanks for speaking up. And Joy, to answer your question, what I would probably say, and the definition of the word allergy, I think I need to go look this up again, but it's any negative outcome that happens, right? So I wouldn't even say that you had an allergy to peanuts. I would just say, I've got such weird allergies or whatever. I just don't eat candy. Or, I love what LaShawn said, no means no. I think you can also say, I'm working with a professional and I'm making some different choices, but thank you so much, or sometimes if they're really pushing it on me, I just grab it and I throw it in the trash, but I hope that's helpful. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they would add for what they say. Sarah Bond says, I don't feel like having any, but thank you. That's a great one. I'm trying to see if anybody else. Candy says, not right now, but thank you. So you are not alone in that, Joy. That is one of the things I think everyone on here says. Oh, Connie, what do you say?
I say no, thank you. I've had my quota for a lifetime. Or no, thank you. I'm allergic. And if they ask me what happens, I tell them I break out an uncontrollable urge to eat it all and there wouldn't be any left for them.
That is perfect. That's what I'm saying next time. That was perfect, Connie. Thank you so much. Man, that was awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you to you for watching. Thank you especially to Joy and to LaShawn and to Crystal for speaking up. It's hard to change the culture. It's hard to speak up and ask these questions, but we need you and we want you. So thank you for being the first. And we will see you here next Tuesday. We are all rooting for you. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.